Welcome to The Bold Encourager. I'm Rebecca. Today I'll be sharing with you about my favorite non-profit organization, Xquisite, and how we are fighting against sex trafficking. So please stay tuned. Thank you for joining me today. I really wanted to share something very important and dear to my heart with you. I've been looking for a nonprofit organization to really volunteer my time for, and it's been hard right now because everything's kind of virtual. So I've been trying to figure out how I can volunteer my time for nonprofit organizations that I really care about. And so I've been working with Xquisite, and they are definitely a nonprofit organization I can stand behind. I have had such a huge passion to really fight against human trafficking, sex trafficking, and any kind of domestic violence against any women or children. And I haven't really been able to find a way to volunteer my time and also for it to fit into my schedule. But thankfully, when I moved to Nevada, I met these amazing women that really have big hearts, that really are about fighting against sex trafficking. So it was a win-win for me. And the reason why sex trafficking really struck a nerve in my heart was when I was in college, there were some girls talking about what sex trafficking was. And I didn't really know that it was such a huge problem in the world and even in the United States today. And then I started doing some research on it, and I found that it is a serious, crazy problem that is happening all over the world today. And it does happen in the United States. So I really have my heart tied to this, and I just feel like it is a major problem that we really need to do something about. So thankfully, I teamed up and partnered with Xquisite, and I am able to help these ladies get their name out there, and also I really help them with social media. So I've been helping them recently, getting the Instagram going, and also posting some things on Facebook. But that, if I could do more, I would definitely want to do more. And they have big dreams that they're trying to accomplish. So I interviewed the founder of Xquisite so you can get an idea of who they are and what they're about and why they are so essential. And they are essential because they're doing things right now. A lot of times people judge a lot of women in the sex industry. So, there's a lot of judgments against prostitutes and women even in pornos. So, there are some people that do choose to do that, but unfortunately, some people are thrown into those situations through sex trafficking. Not their choice. They are, battered and beaten and convinced that that's the only way. So I'm trying to also get rid of those stereotypes, those beliefs. Those are untrue. They're false. There's a lot of women that are forced into it, beaten and mistreated and maliciously. So we need to really turn our attention to this problem because a lot of brothels are out there, so we think, oh, they want to be there. And so there's just definitely a deception of what is going on under these brothels. But you cannot believe that everybody in those brothels have chosen to be there. There's a lot of rape and there's a lot of things happening that we're unaware of. It's all under the table. It's all things that are hidden. So I really encourage you to really look into this and really open up your hearts as I interview Brenda, who is a very wonderful lady, and she's doing many things, great things right now, and she's really trying to help these women get out of these brothels. And also, just open up your hearts and ears and just hear what she has to say about what we're doing for Xquisite. So without further ado, here's the interview I did with Brenda.
Thank you for joining us today. We are interviewing Brenda today about Xquisite and what they're about. So Brenda, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do at Xquisite?
Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for having me today. It's an honor to be able to share with you what Xquisite is. Xquisite is a nonprofit for women who have been victims or exploited in the sex industry and human trafficking. Also, women who experience some difficulties from domestic violence and sexual assault. We want to come alongside them and let them know that they have value no matter what's happened to them in their past. They still have great value, and we want to come alongside them and champion their dreams.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I want to ask you first question, what is Xquisite's mission?
Our mission is to pretty much what I just told you. We want to come alongside women who have experienced some difficulties in life and let them know that no matter what's happened to them, they still have value. Their value is strong. We believe that actually, I love the image of a diamond. The diamond is under the dirt. A lot of times before you have noticed how valuable it is, there's still value in the diamond, but once it's uncovered from the dirt and someone has polished it and trimmed it and cut it, it becomes beautiful. And it's one of the strongest materials on the face of the earth. And the only thing that can cut a diamond is another diamond. So we want to cut the diamonds in our life for good and help them champion the dreams that they have and let them know that they don't have to be held by what's kept them in the past.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. The second question is, what are your short-term goals for Xquisite?
Well, we began in 2012, and we began primarily going out to the women. We have legal brothels here in Nevada, so that we would take gifts out to the women and begin to build relationships with them. The good thing about COVID right now is those brothels are closed. And so we can't really go out and visit with the women, but we still want to be able to be there for them as they have needs. And so our short-term goal really is to get a local office space here in Carson City, Nevada, where we can have the ability to come alongside them and give them internet access to get their resumes built, to help them apply for education, to help them apply for counseling if they need it for some mental health. And so really the biggest short-term goal would be to have a space that's local here and centralized in Carson so that we can host these women and be able to help them. And that's a short-term goal. But as every woman comes through, even though we don't have space now, we are still doing all that. We're providing scholarships for education and mental health and counseling and that sort of thing.
Wonderful. I love that. So the third question is, what are your long-term goals for Xquisite?
I have a huge long-term goal that I just hope that a lot of people can come alongside us with. I would love for us to have a transformation center. And there's a local hotel here in town that has 10 floors that are empty, and they've been empty for 20 years. It'd be so amazing to be able to purchase that building, and every floor could have the ability to house women or other families maybe that find themselves in difficult situations, and then be able to give them a hand up. So that would be my long-term goal. I really feel like that would be so empowering for a woman in particular. It's who we work with. So the women in the sex industry here, if you have worked at the Bunny Ranch or one of the legal brothels here in Nevada, what do you put on your resume once you've left the brothel?
Right.
And so we want to be able to provide that for them so that they're not ostracized because of where they've worked, but help them, get gainful employment. And so, teaching them, mentoring, doing some peer one-on-one mentoring, and just allowing them to have some time to breathe and become the dream that they have always wanted to be.
I like that a lot. That's awesome. The fourth question I have for you is, I know that we're planning the virtual gala right now, and it is the first time that you've had to do a virtual event, and so it's a lot different. So due to the current circumstances that we're all facing right now, and what do you hope to accomplish through the gala this year?
Well, I think our biggest hope would be awareness for people. A lot of people here in our community don't really understand or get that there is human trafficking. And with the legal brothels here, people just assume that everybody they like it out there, that's a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
And so I think bringing awareness to really, truly the atrocities that happen out there. I've worked with several women who have been raped violently. So I don't think the average person understands that. And, there are a lot of young children that are exploited right here in our neighborhoods and have been made to see and do things that children should never have to see and do. And so I think the number one thing for this would be awareness. And like the blessing in disguise for the virtual part is that you don't have to buy a ticket and be in a venue. You can actually watch this at home. And we are so excited that we have a local TV station that is going to do all the production for us so that we can actually have it be a resource that people can tap into. So that would be probably the biggest goal, would be awareness. And we came up with a tailgate theme. So I came up with just doing some studying, like what are some good football things? Because I know a little about football, but not a lot. And we discovered the 12th man. And the 12th man is the crowd. It's the people that are the ones on the sidelines that are so loud that they have the opportunity at times to influence the outcome of the game. And so another goal for this would be that people would start getting loud, and that we can be the 12th man on the sidelines to be an influence to stop human trafficking and domestic violence. Sexual assault. It's not okay for women to have to endure that, or children. So that would be probably those two goals. If we could get that to happen, that would be a win for us.
Yes, that would be awesome. We would love that for sure. The fifth question I have for you, what inspired you to start Xquisite?
Actually, just because we have legal brothels here in our state and in our 7 miles from where I live, I didn't understand or know, because I'm from a different state. And so I was like, what? Wait, what? They have legal prostitution here? And so I began to just kind of notice, and you often can see women when they're getting their hair done or whatever in town, and people always go, oh, So one day, the really impactful thing that happened to me, I was in my hair salon, and a woman was just a few feet away, and she had large patches of her hair that were removed from her head, patches, like big patches gone. And I thought she maybe had cancer, because it was that distinct. And my hairstylist said no, she had some rough episodes in the brothel, and her hair had been ripped out. And she goes, sadly, this is like the 4th time that's happened. It's not just a one-time occurrence. And so that just began to make me think, wait a minute, this is not something that, is all pillow fights and puppies and rainbows.
Right.
And that was in 2012. And so even, human trafficking awareness was not even as evident as it is now. So that was my first initial reason why I was like, I need to explore what this is and try to do something to help the women in our neighborhoods.
Exactly. That's a great story, and that does really inspire, I'm sure, a lot of people to really look at this as a serious thing. Mm-hmm. The 6th question that I have for you is, what events or situations are happening right now that need immediate attention and that everybody should know about?
As far as human trafficking?
Yes, as far as within Xquisite as a nonprofit, your nonprofit organization.
Well, I think that the biggest thing that I would say about that is that just because COVID shut the world down, mm-hmm. Violence and abuse of women and children has not shut down. And some of these people and women are stuck with their captors, their abusers. And so there's actually evidence of an escalation of violence for these women that are stuck at home or in a situation where they can't get away from. And so that truly is what I feel like we need to be aware of.
Yep.
And I just have been helping a woman just in the last few days who was working at the Mustang Ranch and had some difficult things happen to her, and she got fired and just left out on the edge of the property, standing in the dirt waiting for her ride. So there's just still a lot of exploitation that's happening and demeaning behaviors that I'm just not okay with. And so
Yeah.
we will still continue to work to help the one. I mean, I know that it's a huge problem, and we can't help all of them, but we can help one. And that's
Absolutely.
what we'll continue to do.
Absolutely. I love that. Why is Xquisite essential?
I believe I kind of just answered that. It's essential because there are still women and children that are being exploited and stuck in situations where their abuser is, with them day in and day out, and they can't get away from that sort of abuse. And so it's essential because just because everything else closes down, they're still having to endure what they're having to endure day in and day out. And so we will come alongside them. And, like I said, we're helping one woman right now who needs us to sometimes just be there. We,
Absolutely.
not necessarily have to do a whole lot, but just be there and say, we're here. We believe in you. And that would be probably the biggest essential need right now, is just so they don't feel alone ever.
That's awesome. Yeah, I agree. I love that. What are the next steps for Xquisite to get closer to their long-term goal?
I want you to join me. We really want to, especially, as we get loud with this football kind of thing, let's make a difference in the fight against human trafficking. We need to create a movement of women and men who will come alongside and, us and join us in that fight. If we can get a big group of people that commit to their community saying, this is not okay in our community, and be aware, look and notice what's happening around you. There could be a young woman or a child that's just staring and begging for you to notice them because they're in a situation that's difficult for them. We need to just not look the other way. We need to be aware. And so I really feel like that's what I want to. I want to create a loud movement. I want us to not be silent anymore, because those women and children have had their voices silenced, and we need to be their voice. So we need to champion that for them.
Absolutely. And what changes would you like Xquisite to make in the world?
I would love for not one woman, child, or even young man to be exploited. I would love for them to be able to live their dream and have a life that's fulfilled. And I know that there's over 40 million people in the world today that are enslaved or in human trafficking. And when you hear that number, you can just automatically go, what's the use? We can't do anything about that, but we can do something for the one. And there's a study from Creighton University that was done for our area, and the Reno Tahoe, circled with Carson and everything. This was done in 2018, so I can only imagine that the numbers are higher. There's about 1,500 women and children that are exploited online every month, just here in our local vicinity, and we are the second highest for the United States.
Wow.
For human trafficking. So because we have legal brothels, we actually have the opportunity for these traffickers to bring their victims into the legal brothel, kind of let them work or hide out, and then have them come and go. So legal prostitution is not safe for so many reasons, but it also allows for traffickers to bring their victims in unnoticed and hide in plain sight, so to speak. So there's a lot to be done, but we can do something for the one.
You're absolutely right. And the last question I have for you is, you believe in empowering all women. What is your best advice that you can give young women so that they too will be inspired to empower other women?
I really want them to understand who they are, that they are a beautiful daughter. They're someone's daughter and they have value. And not believe the lies that are told to you. Like, often girls get so caught up in the social media, how I look and all that kind of thing. And then they start beginning to believe the lies that are not true. They are beautiful. They have value. They are cherished. They're precious, and if you can even think of it as precious as a diamond that has so many facets to it, that cuts it when the light hits it, that's brilliant. That's how their life should be. And so stop comparing, stop believing the lies. Know who you are and love who you are, and get around people that will champion that in you and not tear you down. If someone's tearing you down or bullying or belittling you, run as far as you can away from them. Get around people that will help lift you up. And so if you can grasp who you are, not believe the lies, and speak up for yourself, then you're gonna do better as a person. You're gonna do better for our communities, and you're gonna be able to help another woman as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great advice for a lot of women. And I hope that everybody takes this interview to heart and really does see how big and essential Xquisite is.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your time. We really need to take this to heart and really express how much we want to support Xquisite in the fight against human trafficking and any domestic abuse. So thank you so much for your time, Brenda, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you.
You're invited to the Diamond Strong Tailgate Gala, which will occur on October 11th, 2020. If you're local, you can attend the gala virtually, but you can also pick up a tailgate meal, which will be available for pickup from 4 to 5 p.m. at Empire Ranch Golf Course. The address is 1875 Fairway, Carson City, Nevada. If you're local, you can definitely do the watch party pack for 10, which is $160, which includes dinner for 10 people. Or you can do an individual watch party for one, which is $20 for dinner. If you don't live locally in Carson City, Nevada, you can still attend. And even if you don't want to do the tailgate dinner, there's the remote watch party pack for $50 for 10, or you can do the watch party only, and that's free. For all these options, you still will need to register at diamondstrong.giftsmart.com. Links will be down below, and the live event will begin at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Regardless if you're able to attend the gala or not, you can still partner with Xquisite by purchasing these footballs for $10. All the proceeds will go back into our nonprofit organization to get us closer to our big goal. So, as you just heard from Brenda, all the things that she's doing right now and what's occurring right now today as she's helping these women. It's about empowering women that are going through things. It's about encouraging all women of all ages, of all ethnicities, to do better for themselves and to get out of bad situations. So I really encourage you to partner up with Xquisite as I have, and really be willing to support them as they make it to their big goal, which is to open up a center for all these women that have been sex trafficked and that have been through hell. So I encourage you and I implore you that you too will be willing to help them. So thank you so much for your time. And of course, I will be leaving the links of how you can get involved with the gala down below. I will also put the links down below for the registration for the gala that's coming up on October 11th, so you can also be involved if you'd like. And also, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. I would love that. I appreciate your support. This allows for me to get my encouraging messages out to everyone, and it doesn't cost you a thing. If you haven't followed me on social media, please do follow me on social media. I will leave the links down below for my Facebook and Instagram. It's at The Bold Encourager on both my Facebook and Instagram. I will also leave Xquisite's social media links down below as well. Please see it for both Instagram and Facebook, also down below. And if you like this video, please do hit that like button, and please do comment. Also, if you'd like me to go ahead and post more videos like this going forward, well, I thank you so much for your love and support, and I hope you have an amazing day.